So we are officially on Facebook. Welcome, welcome, welcome to day 2. I hope day 1 was amazing. As always, we are just going to dig right in. Let's hope that. So just like yesterday, I make up words, have typos. I share from my point of view with passion. Sometimes there's a little sailor speak involved. I will take pauses for moments to get grounded because I tend to get pretty squirrely and can start talking really fast. And if you ever notice those, you can always be like, Jen, slow down, slow down. I sometimes don't notice it and I will tell it like it is. Sometimes I get so excited about something, I forget that I need to take a step back because not everybody is where I'm at. So again, questions, all the things, I am here for you. So today we are covering, and you guys, your homework is awesome. I'm really excited to be sharing all of this space with you and getting your stuff started. Just wanted to say that first and foremost. You can keep posting homework. The prizes will be given out on Tuesday, but I'll share that with you later. So today we're talking about priorities that you have in your life and are you currently honoring them? Reigniting your fire. Why discover who you are and what you really want? Because building a course or a podcast or building your business, this is the foundation. So again, this is really important and it's related to podcasting because if you are just pushing something out to try to grow something that you're not aligned with, that doesn't feel good in your body, that you're struggling. I don't know if you have ever purchased a product that you're just like, this is so amazing. I have to tell all my friends about it. We want that product to be something that is yours, that you are getting the full energetic exchange, money exchange for it that is yours. So it really does start within, which is why soulful podcasting. Podcasting can also be soul sucking, just like social media, if you are using it in a way that feels nice and juicy inside your own body. So that's why today seems a little off when we're like, let's talk podcast strategy, but it's not off because it's your foundation. So we're going to start with your dream circle. If you have the workbooks in there, these are a little bit more colorful just because the other ones were kind of boring, but I wanted to make them as simple as possible so you didn't have to print too many things. But I really want you to take some time, not maybe either right now or in the future, to think about this. Put little dots. So towards the outside, you are experiencing, yes, this is I have so much joy in my life. So I'm going to put my dot all the way out on the end. You have very little joy, put it on the inside. I want you to think about it where you are right now and where you want to be in a year. This was an activity that I actually stole from myself from my coaching career when I was doing health and wellness, but it really plays into every aspect. That's why for me and everything I have is Future Business with Love, because it comes back to self. So I really want you to start thinking about yourself today. What is it that's missing? Are you a creative person? Maybe you're not a creative person, but you know that sacral creative energy needs to come out. How can you bring creativity in? How are you talking to money? What does your finances look like? Are you stressed out about it? Your career. So we're all entrepreneurs. We're all making our things work. Are we aligned with our products? Our current customers? Your education. For me, my education's way off the charts. I have to stop doing it because it's a hiding mechanism for me. But is there something that you really want to learn? I want to learn belly dancing just because it's something that's fun. So right now, my education is in the middle because I want to learn something just for me. Health, physical activity, home cooking. I find that when we nourish our bodies and we feed our souls, sometimes even getting in the kitchen can be that creative fire that we need. So that's why it's across from creativity. Your home environment, where are you working? Your relationships. Are you working 20 hours a week, 50 hours a week, doing all the busy work where you don't actually have time to have relationships or a social life? Well, when that happens, all of a sudden joy starts falling off. Maybe you're hiding your spirituality like I did. This is all new for me. This is scary. I'm going to admit I am terrified to share this part of spirituality because it's something that I don't see. I don't see someone teaching business podcasting with the spiritual side. Just like, and now I'm doing meditations and activations and all these things. You really just, I want you to think and spend some time with this. Again, you might know right away, you look at Joy and you're like, I don't even need to think about that. I know exactly where that dot's going to go, and just fill it out and kind of connect the dots and see, oh, look, this is really interesting. My finances and my relationships are kind of off. Well, those are things that we can really look at. This also is a great way to start coming up with content. So there is a strategy behind. Another reason why we're going deeper into this is because this is all content that you can use for tomorrow's 30-day strategy to start sharing, to start putting into your podcast. Because if you're able to move your dots, you're able to teach someone, share your story, and your story is someone's life preserver. So that is one of the things that's really important to think about while you're doing this. Is there is a method to my madness, I promise. So creating your priority list. Whoops, I went too far. I want you to start thinking about priorities in your life. Sometimes we have our priorities pretty backwards. For me, when you start looking back on this list, for me, joy, spirituality, creativity, social life, relationships are on the top. But a lot of those for me are my lowest scores. So I want you to really look at when you're starting to make a priority list, which in your workbook that I've created for you, we have the create your priority list. And I want you to start thinking about your top 5 priorities. It can be from this list. You can dig it down even more. Maybe relationships is a spouse, a kid, whatever it is. Maybe you have a specific person instead of like the broad spectrum topic of relationships. But I want you to really think about the top 5 and where do they fit into your life right now? Where do they fit into your circle right now? Are they, in expansion mode or contraction mode? And I want you to start just thinking about, again, as entrepreneurs, a lot of the time we hustle. And that's been part of what culture has taught us, right? Is that we need to be in this hustle mode. It has to be hard. Making money has to be hard. Getting clients has to be hard. That's a lie. That's 100% BS. And I didn't believe it. I did not believe it until last year. I know you guys heard the Clubhouse story yesterday where I came into a Clubhouse room for networking. Somebody asked me about podcasting. I stayed longer in the room, created a program and sold it out in 72 hours. I had no idea what I was doing. I had my own podcast, but it's not the one thing I'm not trained in. So when you allow for flow, things just happen. It doesn't have to be hard. And that's one of the things we get stuck in. And I know for me, my education is like, although it's way off the charts because I'm far too educated, I feel like my education is down here in the dumps because I've used it to hide. I've used it for a way to stroke my own ego instead of being able to teach out. So for me, my education category now is teaching, not receiving more. So I really just, this is just a conversation to get you started to like, oh, interesting. How are these things showing up? What are my priorities? What are the top priorities? And I want you to really think about where it is right now. So like I said, social life is important to me, yet I'm spending 70 hours a week between my production business and all the other things I had going on. I didn't get a social life. It almost destroyed my marriage. It destroyed my health. And it made me miserable. So what is really important to you and how can we start shifting those time blocks to create something that feels good? Again, I'm giving you guys content gold because I know all of your businesses. And these are all things that you can talk about within your businesses. That'd be great for whether you're going to start a podcast or you're going to create social content. This is all something that you can use because your ideal client is a version of you. So as you've moved out of things, And again, like I said, method to my madness. It seems crazy that day 2 is about finding ourselves, but once you find yourselves, ease and flow really do happen. So vision your life. I want you to vision your life. You know, what feelings do you want to feel? All the feels are welcome. If you are not wanting to feel rage, sad, anger, resentment, all of those things, then you really need to take a look at that too. But I want you to start visioning forward. Okay, what about 1 year from now? I don't like to go too far. I don't like to do the 5-year plan, the 10-year plan, maybe even 6 months if you don't even want to go that far. What feelings do you want to feel in 6 months? If you could get off that hamster wheel, start creating and moving the business and, having a marketing plan that feels good, and you could ditch sales calls and, exchange them into some sort of a give content where people are like, take my money. Here's my credit card. Where do I enter it? Because there are coaches that are that good. There are people that are like, yes, I need this in my life. That can be you too. I know each one of us has handed over our credit card without a lot of thought to work with somebody. They're no different than us. We can do it too. So what are you doing now that you are able to do that? You have more time, you have more money. What's shifted? What's shifted if you're working 10 hours a day creating content on the constant and feeding the content monster? What's shifted if all of a sudden now you only have to work 2 hours a day? What can you do with those other 8 hours? There's so many things that can come up and change. But you have to be willing to look outside and say, okay, I'm doing this strategy because I saw someone else doing it and it worked for them, so it worked for me. It's just like the diet industry. One size does not fit all. Business is the same way. But when you find that like diet that's like, oh my goodness, I'm feeling good, I have the energy, I all of a sudden ran a 5K with my niece, you're onto something. Your business is the same way. So what are you doing now that you're able to do? Dream big, but don't forget about the small things, like being social, like having the time to go grab coffee, the time and money to go grab coffee without feeling guilty that you haven't completed something. I mean, that's a good feeling when you're like, oh yeah, I don't mind taking the hour or 2 out of my day, and I don't mind spending the $10 on this cup of coffee. Like, it doesn't matter. So I want you to start like thinking about that vision of your life. As you go through the homework, I want you to create a life mantra or quote. This is just something that will draw you back to yourself. It goes kind of into a deeper how-to in the homework, discovering optimism words. This is just something that like can bring you back. My simple one recently was, I can watch me. I am watch me. They can be big, they can be small, they can be a paragraph long, but I want it to be something that when you start to shift those thoughts back into those old patterns of cycling, feeding the content monster, feeling overwhelmed, feeling defeated, something that you can just snap into your head and be like, no, I can watch me. Whatever that is. And I'd love if you'd share them, because sometimes we can get inspired by other people and we're like, yes, I want that mantra too, because that is to my heart. So again, we keep going into this and the I ams. And I know we've all heard these in every single coaching. I am a big fan of Post-its. If I had my actual laptop and not my desktop, I would show you around my office. It is this side of my office that you can't see is like a wall of Post-its. I have a mirror that's floor to ceiling mirror. It's all Post-its. Like, way to go, Jen. Good job. You're worth it. And it seems really silly, but sometimes I stand in front of that mirror and I read those Post-its to myself, because entrepreneurship is a wild ride. And if you didn't want to work on personal development, you get to work on it. It's just how it is. Because what we've overcome is what we can help others overcome. So I consider each one of those roadblocks and those thoughts that come up as a gift, because it is something that you can use to serve someone else. And no, it's temporary. We have a lot of power and a choice to stay where we are or to move forward. So it's temporary. And I want you to just really, I know I'm rushing through this, but I really want to take your actual questions. But I want you to take some time with the homework, with the workbook, because this, again, is creating so much content for you. So I'm looking at this I am statements, and it's like, okay, I want to write down, like on my wall, I am worthy of making money. Oh my goodness. From that I am statement, I have so many ideas for podcast episodes, for posts. So sometimes just reflecting back, using your whatever's in your going on in your mind, using your I am statements, using your vision statements, allows you to generate this content without having to be like, oh my gosh, when am I going to post today? If I get up in the morning and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's up, fatty? And then I'm like, oh, where did that thought come from? Now I've come up with an idea. Oh, okay. So we have this mindset game of society standards, what it looks like, magazine articles, how we see things. That fits in great to my podcast. Great. So that's why when we talk about themes, and we put that on the homework the other day of what themes and things you like to talk about, you're not really trapped into one thing. Podcasting allows you to be a little bit broader. And for me, unlike most people where they're like niche down, niche down, niche down. Yeah, we'll niche down in creating courses and things like that. But your podcast can have a really broad topic. My podcast is self-love. My other podcast is podcasting. Both of those have such a big range of things. I will never get bored talking about it. I have learned things about that people thought were self-love that I was like, whoa, I didn't even consider that self-love, but you're right. So again, as we create this content and you get to know yourself, you're creating content that will serve your audience. And know that you're enough. You don't need anything more. You have everything inside of you, but it is nice to do it with support. So again, all the things that I already put on here helps you find your theme of your show, helps you create your pitch, and allows you to keep yourself in check so that you can focus on what's important. Whether you are going to start a podcast, which I know all of you that are, backstage with me are going to start a podcast. It really does allow you to do all these things. And if you're going to start a podcast, our next thing is helping you pitch to get to the next level, to get on other people's show. This really helps you because you can authentically show up. You can authentically create those one sheets and those emails and be like, oh, right, I am so into this, that I know that this is going to come out with passion and energy. And I totally am down for this. I want this to happen. So that's why we really are doing this deep dive. Oh, wow. That was it. That's what I have for you today. We're going to do our activation and then our homework. I know that was relatively fast, but I don't really want to go through and be like, okay, let's dig this out as me just talking at you, which is why actually I think we're going to have a conversation and then we're going to go do that. 3, again, we're looking in the mirror. We're looking in the mirror today. Tomorrow we're doing all messy, fast aligned actions. Your next step on your podcast adventure, steps to getting started on this amazing evergreen platform. What you need to start your adventure. And of course, I do have a special offer for you guys because I'll be, fully transparent. I am launching something pretty fun. And then we're going to do a full body activation for all the chakras to kind of clear some of the clutter and allow some new space so that you can choose what you want to put in. Because we want you to take a soul aligned action that is, beneficial. So that's the homework. You can share what you want in the group. Like I said, next Tuesday, I will be sharing the winners. There are some extra bonuses for being, nope, we're good. All right. Well, then I just want you to feel your feet on the floor. I think we're all sitting. Kind of wiggle in, feel the chair beneath your body supporting you. Take a deep breath in and out. And I want you to just put your hand on your heart, hand on your belly. And I want you to start thinking about what it is that you truly want. What's important to you? What's not important to you? What actions are you taking that you're taking out of fear of leaving that emptiness? Meaning you're doing these things to fill space, because if not, you'd have to fill in with something that was even scarier. What would it feel like if that fear disappeared? And instead of working on creating things over and over again, where you're not leaving time to actually connect with other humans to drive your business forward, what would it feel like if you actually took that time to connect? To have those people in your space that were like, here's my credit card, take it, help me, serve me. I want to have this energetic exchange with you. And as you release your breath and you take a deep breath in, I want you to release the need to hustle. Allow as the air comes in to feel the flow of the air, fill your body. Sit up a little bit taller and know that you have enough inside you right now. You are enough, you are worthy. And all that it takes is that baby step over fear. One little tiny baby step every day over fear. And know that you are a warrior. And eventually those baby steps will turn into massive leaps. See yourself in 1 year with an abundance around you, whatever abundance and success looks like to you. See that person in front of you right now. What does she have to say to you in that moment? If you want to ask her any questions or advice, ask her the questions and listen to her answer. And I want you to thank her for whatever she has told you. And take that in. Feel that advice inside your body. That's advice from you, from deep down within you. You are enough and you are worthy. You are enough and you are worthy. You know enough. Your story, your message, your magic, your offers deserve a platform. You deserve the microphone. You are now seen and heard. There's no backing down. You are now seen and heard. Hold that in. Hold your head high. Take a deep breath in and allow seen and heard to be part of your new lifestyle. And just feel that in your body. Feel that power. Take a deep breath in and release. And allow that to be your new reality. Allow that to be activated within you. Activated within you. You are worthy to stand in your power to be seen and heard. Activate within you. And let that settle in. Thank your body, your mind, your soul, the spirit, universe, creator, God, for this chance to share your magic with the world. Take a deep breath in and release. And slowly come back to the room. And just allow yourself to feel your heartbeat as you come back.